Some interesting stuff to get to on the Jimmy Garoppolo front. You thought that we'd be done talking about Jimmy G, right? Not any longer, because he failed his physical with the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Raiders are now blaming the San Francisco 49ers for misdiagnosing that injury that he suffered against the Miami Dolphins when he injured his foot and was then out for the rest of the season. You're watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, appreciate all of you for being here with us. So, a question that I have received over the last couple of days since this report came true. Chase, can the San Francisco 49ers bring back Jimmy Garoppolo to be a backup? Chase, will the San Francisco 49ers bring back Jimmy Garoppolo to be a backup? I don't think there's any chance that that is going to happen, nor do I think the Niners are going to do it. In fact, if the Niners bring back Jimmy Garoppolo, I might have to do some of the most wild things that I've ever done on the airwaves here of the 49ers Report. I simply do not see how it could happen. Now, today's show is presented by iHerb. You can get 22% off using the promo code CHAT. That's iHerb.com, promo code CHAT. We'll tell you more about them coming up here in just a little while. Let's pivot back, though, to Jimmy Garoppolo here. So he suffered that foot injury during the 2022 season against the Miami Dolphins. That's what allowed Brock Purdy to come in, light the league on fire. He went 7-0 in his starts, 5-0 in the regular season, 2-0 in the playoffs before falling in the NFC Championship game. As for what the injury was, a broken medial and middle cuneiform, along with a broken second metatarsal. There's a reason why I'm a broadcaster and not a doctor, because that verbiage is very, very confusing. After signing with the Raiders, that's when Jimmy Garoppolo had surgery, because when he suffered that injury with the San Francisco 49ers, they recommended that he didn't get surgery, but then he didn't pass his physical with the Las Vegas Raiders. They flagged it on the day that was supposed to be his introductory press conference, and they said, look, the Niners may have said you didn't need surgery. We're looking at this injury. You need surgery. So with that, it threw a wrench into the plans for Jimmy G as well as the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders at the time postponed Garoppolo's introductory press conference because of the contract. And there are now voids in the contract, which we'll get to. Josh McDaniels said at the time, there's no reason why the introductory press conference didn't happen. That was obviously a lie. And the injury resulted in Las Vegas removing the signing bonus, with the full $22.5 million then becoming base salary to clear up some money for the Las Vegas Raiders. As for the injury timetable, these types of injuries to your foot, they take 6 to 12 weeks to heal, and metatarsal injuries take about 8 to 12 weeks. So there is some confusion as to the specifics of what this injury is. That's from when he got surgery. And if you remember, NFL free agency was in March, so there is an expectation that Garoppolo could be ready for week 1 for Las Vegas as their starting quarterback. When will Jimmy return, though? This is what we know as of right now. Las Vegas will not rush him back. Josh McDaniels hinted at training camp. This would give Garoppolo somewhere around 4 months. That's 16 weeks to heal, about a month and change, depending on the timeline, more than what the timeline requires for him to come back off that foot injury. So, I've addressed whether or not Jimmy Garoppolo could come back to San Francisco, because he's loved by some people, he's hated by others. My answer to that is no. But will Jimmy G play for the Raiders in 2023? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off with your opinions down in the comment section right now. As I mentioned off the top of the show, today's 49ers Report is presented by a brand new sponsor here at Chat Sports. It is iHerb. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo could have used some supplements from iHerb to bounce back quicker from that surgery, or maybe he is using iHerb to bounce back faster from that surgery so that he can make that money and get on the field for the Las Vegas Raiders. I love iHerb. Are you looking for a top-tier sports nutrition product? Well, they have products on their website. Look no further than iHerb, your one-stop shop for all of your health and wellness needs. With so many options out there, it can be daunting to find products that align with your fitness goals. And iHerb ensures product quality by shipping from climate-controlled fulfillment centers, guaranteeing first-rate condition. Every product is stored and shipped exclusively by iHerb, no third-party sellers, and free shipping is available on purchases over $20. Trust iHerb. Over 11 million customers have found the best products backed by 24 million reviews and 1.3 million five-star ratings. Athlete or fan, the iHerb products are fantastic and they keep your health in check. Take your sports nutrition game to the next level. Go to iHerb.com, promo code CHAT, 22% off your first order. That's IHERB.com, promo code CHAT. Choose iHerb because wellness matters, and I use iHerb because wellness and health matters a lot to me. More on Garoppolo here. So the Raiders failed Jimmy Garoppolo in that physical after he signed that deal. He also added 5 clauses that waive Garoppolo's injury guarantees. Las Vegas also added 2 final clauses that Jimmy Garoppolo can be released. And here's what's interesting and fascinating about this. If Jimmy Garoppolo is released, the Raiders don't owe him anything. Then what happens? He becomes a free agent. He can sign with any team. And can you imagine a scenario in which the Niners suffer another quarterback injury and Jimmy Garoppolo comes back to the Bay again? I don't think it's realistic, but crazier things have certainly happened. We thought Garoppolo was going to be gone when they drafted Trey Lance. Then last year, he came back on both occasions. A third time, that would be nutty. As for the Jimmy Garoppolo contract in paragraph 1, the waiver acknowledges that without surgery, Garoppolo would not pass his physical. So that contract would have been null and voided by the Raiders at the time because they're not going to pass a guy with this physical if they don't think that he can play. More on that, paragraph 2. He expressly acknowledges and waives the risk of further injury, including potential permanent disability by continuing his career. This is important because that gives the Las Vegas Raiders a little bit of leverage there if things do go wrong. Jimmy G contract paragraph number 3. Garoppolo expressly assumes all risks of continuing to play despite the condition. So, look, when it comes down to this, I think Garoppolo is going to be able to play, but from a legal situation and legal matter standpoint, you kind of have to put these things in writing because if you don't, then Garoppolo could come back and potentially sue you. And that could come down to a lot of money. Obviously, the Raiders want to avoid that. To paragraph number 4. Jimmy Garoppolo waives all claims against the Raiders, so there you go, backing up what I just said. Jimmy G waives all claims against the NFL. So it's not just the Raiders who have to clear themselves of some of this legal back and forth. It's also the National Football League. Jimmy G also waives all claims against anyone else who could be responsible for the condition. He agrees that any disputes regarding whether any injury involves the condition specified in the waiver shall be resolved in the discretion of the club's physician while also preserving the player's ability to seek a second opinion. With all of this, considering Garoppolo's career, right? He starts off as the backup to Tom Brady. He comes in when Brady's suspended. He has a couple of good starts. He gets injured. He gets traded to San Francisco. He becomes their franchise quarterback. He had those awesome last 5 games, which gave everybody hope. And then early the next season, he tears his ACL, comes back in 2019, helps lead the Niners to the Super Bowl. 2020, he's injured. 2021, beats out Trey Lance, leads the Niners to the NFC Championship game. In 2022, you're thinking that he's going to be gone. Trey Lance wins the starting job. Garoppolo then comes in after Lance gets hurt. Then Garoppolo gets injured. Brock Purdy comes in. Then he signs this monster deal with the Las Vegas Raiders, and he fails his physical, thinking I can finally go somewhere where I don't have to worry about a quarterback competition. I reunite with Josh McDaniels from our days with the New England Patriots, and I can be their guy. But now, in classic Jimmy Garoppolo fashion, in which drama always seems to follow him, he has to pass this physical first in order to be the team's starting quarterback. This is one of the craziest injury situations ever. From what I just said to the money at hand, and of course, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. Crazy things always happen with the Las Vegas Raiders. Here's some information that's valuable from Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio on Jimmy Garoppolo's contract. The contract preserves the team's ability to terminate the agreement with no further obligation. And Florio, by the way, has a legal background. for any reason related to the waiver and release attached as Addendum G. G for Jimmy Garoppolo, perhaps? I don't know. The waiver becomes null and void if at any time during the 2023 season Garoppolo passes a physical exam, is active for at least one regular season game, and does not suffer re-injury to his left foot in the manner described in Addendum G. So Garoppolo will not get any money on that large contract that he signed until he passes a physical. And Las Vegas can cut him for any reason related to that injury. Now, with the doctors that I've talked to and everything that I've kind of seen online, Jimmy Garoppolo should be ready for week 1. This was never an injury that was going to cost him the rest of his career, right? Should be good for week 1. But what's looming? It's that one but if he doesn't pass that physical. So your one-word reaction to the Jimmy G news, I'm going to go drama. Because there's always drama following around Jimmy G, whether it be good or bad. Join the conversation down in the comments section. I appreciate all of you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.